I always used to be someone who slept really well. I think it was a quality of sleep thing, and also the way I set myself to sleep, and thus the state I was in when I slipped into sleep. Um, Sleep was always so resetting. I always woke up feeling good, except when I went to sleep sad. That's the only thing. When I went to sleep sad, I wake up sad. The sad would like tint the whole day. Maybe there's other stuff I could have done about it, but I just tried to not sleep sad. I just like stay up watching stuff. Nothing that would like engage me, just watching stuff. Nothing like scrolling or something that would like keep me like wired and awake. Just watching stuff until I get too sleepy and I forget the way I feel and I fall asleep. Nowadays I do that with weed. That's so bad. Anyway, get onto that in a sec. Used to be a great sleeper. Superpower. Could fall asleep anywhere. Could fall asleep anywhere, and it would always be such an amazing quality sleep. I think the only caveat was if it was less than 3 hours, it wasn't enough. But anything 3 hours or more, it was like a full night's sleep to me. I mean, okay, I couldn't do like 5 hours or 4 hours maybe. 5 hours is actually pretty sustainable, but 4 hours, I couldn't do 4 hours every night forever. Like I needed some longer night's sleep. I needed 10 hours here and there, you know. Um, it wasn't sustainable, but 5, 6, 7, like around that range, I would like to say that I was sleeping 10 hours a night, 9 hours a night. That was my, but I wasn't. I was averaging usually 5 to 7 hours in great spirits. Now, part of that was being in great spirits and generally having like a good and abundant, rich and full life. It just cheers you up. It just gets you going. It means you can run on less, really, at least for me. I don't got that. So that's one reason why I'm not so rested, I guess. And also, I think I had a bit of a meditative, although not on purpose. I just always, I think I would observe it now, knowing what I know as an adult and about life and stuff. I would say I had like a meditative sort of mindful procedure that I would enact as I chose to fall asleep, as I actively fell asleep. It wasn't like I just lie there until sleep takes me. I would do something. And I had a few different things that I would do, and it usually had to do with just watching, observing things, not like mentally in my mind. I wasn't focusing on my mind at all. Visually, actually, I was looking at the colors behind my eyelids and just watching them and just waiting and listening to, I guess, okay, not watching my mind, but listening to my mind, listening to the emptiness of my mind. I think I'm not that well versed in meditative stuff, really, but I think I came to understand it as the tranquility branch of meditation. Anyway, I found that when I meditated, I did the same techniques and it would set me to sleep. Like, it was really quite hard, but it was such like a trance-like sort of sleep, because also I was like sitting up and I was around people. It was interesting. It was very interesting. I had some powers. I had some accidental powers, which I think are very cool. I decided I don't want a cigarette. I love the idea of a cigarette. I like rolling the cigarette, but the actual cigarette is like, I don't want it in my body right now. I don't really want them in the morning anymore. I'm going to try this, but actually, why don't I try my low nicotine vape? I just want something. It's just the ritual, you know? I'll take my pigtails out because I clipped them for the shower. It's not really pigtails, is it? Little ears. Anyway, sleep, basically. I've been trying to figure out how to sleep well again because I don't sleep like that anymore at all. Now I can sleep like a whole night and it's not a good quality sleep. I think I don't wake up feeling good. I don't wake up feeling refreshed. My body doesn't feel that recovered. I feel like there's something really lacking in my quality, and I used to be so good at it. And I've been taking lots of different angles. I googled a bunch of stuff, or I found a really good like Reddit thread forum of people with ADHD talking about if they sleep well, what helps them sleep well. And I realized a lot of the things they do I used to do, and I don't do anymore, but it just was the way I slept. Like, I looked forward to sleep. I used to quite reliably have a wank before sleep, so that was something exciting to look forward to as well. And also it just felt snuggly and nice, and I was excited to like cuddle up in bed. I also had this well, I don't necessarily need this now because everything's a bit different, but what I used to do is all the things that I didn't have time to think about and ponder in the day, I'd go through them then. I don't know how I had the list. I didn't like pull out a phone or something. I just had the list. That. Think about all the things, and then sometimes maybe when I was really young, I'd do something like I'd do something like for fun where I'd like, okay, yeah, I wanna imagine my design my dream house. I would not go good at design at all, but I'd just be like, all the things I wanted. So, I want a cinema room, and here it has the consoles, and here it has the popcorn, a little mini fridge, and it has like drinks and juice and popcorn and all of this. this. And I'd do whatever I wanted to do in my mind. I'd play with my thoughts. And then when I was done, I'd be like, hey, okay, I feel content. I feel done. I've got it all out. And I'd be like, okay, now it's time. And I'd fall asleep. And I don't know how long that took. I don't know if I wasted hours doing that, but I didn't waste hours. I had a great time, and I went to sleep in a good mood, and I woke up in a good mood. And I took the opportunity alone to just hang out with myself and my own brain. It was really nice. And there are other things I did. I think it's not an exhaustive run over of all the things I suggested in that thread, but it's one angle I've taken. Maybe it gives you an idea of how sort of like organically I enjoyed it, my attitude towards it, and how much it was like a positive thing instead of like a fucking stressful thing. I had this superpower to sleep. I slept so well. And I had friends around me as I grew up like struggling with insomnia and stuff. And it just reinforced how grateful I was that for some reason, without like necessarily like conscious planning or like solution, like, I wasn't trying. I mean, I was doing lots of things that were in line with what I needed to do to put me in like a good position to have good sleep. But I didn't know what I was doing. It wasn't like I consciously enacted it and put it as like a layer of things on top of my it was just how I like naturally slept. It was so good, and I slept so well, and it was such a refresher. Like I could be wrecked and just feel so much better after a night's sleep. I don't know if I said this already, but the only thing is I couldn't sleep sad. I did say this already. Anyway, when other people struggled, I was like, God, thank God, I sleep well. Grateful. I was grateful. I'm so glad I was grateful. I'm so glad that I had this great thing and now I don't have this great thing, but I was grateful, so abundantly grateful for it all the way through. And now when it's gone, it's sad, but it's like I really did make the most of it. I did notice it. I never took it for granted. Thank you. Thank you. And at some point, I lost that superpower. And oh my God. It's fucking important. I thought it was important. I was right. It was important. I went through a moment where I was in a not very good situation with some very unhealthy things going on around me, a lot of deception, a lot of manipulation, and I guess I was trying to stay on top of it all, and my mind was just overrun. Like I think I thought myself to like brain fry, but then I had to keep compulsively figuring shit out because I needed to, or I felt I needed to, or I had an impulse to. I don't know. I was just like really drove my head into the ground. Like my mind went to fuzz. I was thinking in circles and cycles, and you know, if I couldn't think clearly, I couldn't put it away. So like I had a few nights here and there scattered where I would spend the whole night just thinking and not chilly, you know, like horrible. So I started smoking weed, because when I smoke weed, my mind gets lazy, stops caring about stuff. I was gonna try and get ready at the same time, but I don't know if I can. And I lost the ability to think, and I stopped trying, and so I would just chill out. I smoked so that I would stop thinking. I didn't need to smoke very much, just a little bit was enough. But I think it was a little bit more than I needed to like enjoy weed, a little bit more than what I would take as a recreational amount. I'm a lightweight, I'm a massive lightweight. I really would just take it just to feel it. And I was getting a little bit deeper than that. But like sometimes when I was very emotionally dysregulated, I would go much deeper than that because I wanted to not feel. I wanted to get the emotions out of the way, because like being really down is also an inhibitor to sleep. So I would, you know, sometimes get really, really high so that I was so stupid and couldn't feel, and sometimes just a bit high so that I was stupid and couldn't think. Terrible habit, as you can imagine. My relationship to weed as a ritual before sleep evolved over time. After I got out of that situation, the cognitive overwhelm wasn't a problem anymore that I needed it as a solution for. The emotional dysregulation, sadly, I had trained into me. I'd never used it like this before, but like I now had I now have a sort of like a habit, right, where if I'm really fucked up and upset at sleep, I don't get myself out of it. I like fret for hours and have a horrible time, and then finally the sun starts to come up. I'm like, God, you have to sleep. Let's smoke so much that you can't think, that you can't feel, that you can't anything. You just fucking pass out. I have that. That seems really, really problematic. So I gotta figure that one out. But there were other reasons, other aspects of why I did this ritual that would still come into play. Not all at once and not anyone reliably, but there were just loads of different reasons why I kept doing it. Loads of reasons to smoke before bed. One, it was always something I'd done occasionally as a treat, so I still had that treat relationship with it. So sometimes it's that. But also because I kept it up for so long, it became like part of the ritual. It became part of the routine. So the same way sometimes I need to have a cigarette to get started on something, I would need to follow my sort of ritual of dim the lights, roll a cigarette while watching something, and then smoke it while watching something, and then halfway through smoking it, get in bed and set up my phone on the little phone holder thing so I can hands-free watch it and maybe smoke a little bit more, or then, okay, now I'm ready, put it away, and then watch the thing, and then, you know, like I had this routine with it for a while recently. This is more a recent thing. And even when I was in other places, I would like, everyone would go to bed and I'd be like, I don't feel ready for bed. I need to have a joint, and then like look at the sky or something for a while and spend a moment, and sometimes that was really pleasant. I'm not saying it's always like coupled with like agony, but they were just like nice, nourishing, and sometimes just neutral, habitual, and sometimes very negative reasons why it was multifaceted influence. I was aware that it was a problem because it sounds real bad. You need weed to sleep. But my understanding didn't have that level of granularity. I hadn't necessarily examined it. But anyway, I got away from that situation. I started staying with a friend. It was really nice. The overthinking went away as I got out of that just toxic for my mind situation. Still had emotional dysregulation, as I always do from life, but also from that situation, and also because I was in like such a fucked, worn down, like wrangled, wasted state because of everything I went through during that period. And also, well, I can't be bothered, but lots of, I was fucked. I was the most fucked I'd ever been in all my life. You know, I've been fucked. But that was like a new level. I have appreciation that there are further rock bottoms further than your own rockest of bottoms or bottomest of rocks. Reminds you what you don't know. Anyway, I decided I wanted to find a place. It was nice, the place I was staying. I felt very nourished and healthy and good, and some people were there who were like really good for me at that time, really what I needed. But the place I was staying with them was like kind of empty because of summer. Some people were on long trips away or whatever, and people were going to start coming back, and I knew there wasn't going to be space, there wasn't going to be a room for me. So I wanted to leave, but it was really hard for me to find a place. So when people came back, I started crashing in communal space, which some people weren't so happy with. And I don't know, I did my best to be as unnoticeable as possible, to have a limited impact. I mean, there were times where I would try to generally stay out the house. When people woke up in the morning, even if they wake up at like 7, I would get up because, I mean, I don't know how much. I would just be like horribly sleepy in bed. I don't think I could really like recover any good sleep after. Once I got woken up, the sun was always really bright and there were no curtains that like covered that. But yeah, I'd like pack away my bedding and make everything neat and nice and get up, so I wasn't like just like lounging around in sleepy mode in their living room all the time. I was cooking and cleaning and buying food and treating that place like from the beginning, because when I actually came there after the first like couple of weeks, I was there alone and I was looking after the place like it was mine. I was buying things like long-term things to fix it up. I was trying to be as respectful as possible, and I think no one really felt like I disrespected the space. But I felt like some people didn't appreciate everything. Like I was so low capacity, I was so fucked, and I wasn't better. And I was really emptying my cups to try and give love to this space so that I wouldn't be like a mooch, you know, so that I would be giving back. But I was really running like around the bottom of the barrel all the time. It was really hard, and there were some people who just really just didn't want me there at all. They just wanted me gone. They didn't care if I was homeless. They just wanted me gone. I mean, they were going through a rough time. I don't think they'd ever, like, consciously, when they were in a good state, they'd never, like, choose me to be homeless over them coexisting with me. But, like, just when they were fucked, they just, you know, when you're fucked, you get selfish. You have to. It's like a mechanism. Now you have to prioritize looking after yourself because you're so fucked. And it's the only, sometimes for some people, it's the only way that we will prioritize ourselves. It's the only way we'll look after ourselves. We're forced to look after ourselves because of this protective mechanism. So she wanted me to leave, and that made it really hard too. And I just also was losing so much sleep because I was living in communal space. People sleep late, I sleep later. People wake early, I wake with them. And also being around people all the time because I had no room, no space to go to by myself. I mean, I could go outside or whatever, but like, I just like needed a place to be alone, and I didn't have that at all. I realized after a while that I'd go to one of their rooms and like cry in the bed if I wanted to. That was also another thing, feeling shit and not having anywhere to go. You just have to keep being around people. It was very like, it pushed some other limits of me, you know. I was also in a weird space in my head since all that shit, and also some other things that weren't bad, but just like changes in my circumstances. That meant like I couldn't enjoy me time the way I used to before. I didn't recharge from it the way I used to before, but I still drained from being around people. So that was also another pressure. Anyway, when everyone went to bed, I wanted to spend a couple hours doing something by myself, watching something, whatever. I was so tired, but like, I needed that. Otherwise, I felt like I couldn't sleep. I felt like I couldn't, I felt like I felt like I was empty on something. It's like not being able to sleep because you're so hungry, or you're desperate to piss, or you feel disgusting and you really need to shower. So even though you're exhausted, you've got to do that. You might be able to just like, bear with it until you fall asleep, but you really don't want to. You really don't want to. You're fucking hungry. You want to eat. You need to piss, you know? It was like that. I needed alone time. So I was getting less sleep than anybody. I felt like I was being, being tortured. Like, my brain was so fried, less and less sleep. It was so horrendous, 2-3 hours every night for such a long time. And, you know, like I said, not good quality, right? I wasn't having good quality sleep. I was like, this is torture. I feel like, I don't know. I didn't moan much about it. I didn't get much sympathy or notice for it. And that was a bit, because there are some people who aggravated the situation. And I don't know, I also feel like I couldn't be like, can you please do this differently because I'm struggling to sleep because I'm living on your sofa, you know, so. But, yeah, I don't know. They kind of realised here and there when they saw how fucked I was and sort of changed some stuff, which is nice. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want it to be something that I need. I didn't want it to be something that I request of someone. I didn't want to ask that much. So it took a while for it to be noticed and help to be given. Just some people were staying up really late, even though they like, accidentally, like they didn't want to be. They just had some bad habits. And I didn't want to press him. But eventually I think they realised that they were inhibiting me from sleeping because I'm sleeping in communal space. So if you're up late, I'm up late. Anyway, I was just terrible sleep. Then I got my own place after many months. It was crazy. And obviously I started sleeping longer hours, but the quality's never been what it used to be. I was doing the weed thing. That was something. At least I was getting more hours. I wasn't feeling like I was being fucking, like someone was shoving a screwdriver through my brain every fucking night. Like, I was a lot better off. But it still wasn't what it used to be. I started working on it. I thought my problem was that I'm not sleeping early enough. I'm not sleeping enough. So I would try and sleep early, wake early. Sometimes I got on top of this and then fucked it up. And then I remember I did like one shift that was until like 8 a.m. And I'd been waking up at like 8, 9 naturally for a little while. I was like, good. I'm still not feeling as good after sleep as I used to, but it's a step. Okay, let's see what to do next. Maybe if I just keep it up, I'll start to feel good again. I don't know. And then one night shift and I was like sleeping after 5 a.m. for like a week. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not doing that again. I don't give a fucking shit about the fucking money. I would fucking fuck no. I'll find a fucking another way. The guy was like, I thought you needed money. I don't get it. Why are you saying no to my shift? And I was like, that sleeping thing, no. And they're like, oh, you sleep before, or you sleep after, you sleep for the whole day. Like, what, am I going to lose like 2-3 days for one day shift? No, I get a bit defensive. I got a bit, I didn't to him, sorry, in my head. And when I was thinking about it, I was like, no, I'm gonna fucking protect my fucking sleep because I fucking need it. No. Right, so the first thing I'm working on is getting my full night's sleep. And I'm like, okay, that helps. I'm still not resting like I used to, but okay, that helps. And then I have a couple of nights where I'm sleeping later in the day, as in like I'm going to sleep really late. And you know, sometimes I'd like try and wake up early so I can have my day still. But I was prioritizing length of sleep, so I would sleep into the day, and then I find, okay, I'm getting my hours, but it doesn't feel as good. Like maybe circadian rhythm, sunlight, being asleep when the sun is up, maybe that's a problem for me. Maybe I need to sleep when it's dark. Okay, so that's another thing we learned. Great. Still not getting good sleep. Do you think it's a weed? Maybe it's a weed. I mean, they say weed fucks with your like sleep and your REM and your dreams and like brain recovery. That's probably a big part of it. I mean, I think that is a big part of it. Even though I actually have more dreams now, despite being on weed, than I did when my head was fucked. Like my dreams went away. Or maybe my sleep was fucked, so I wasn't having REM and I didn't have dreams. Maybe the weed was interrupting my sleep and that's why I remember my dreams. But now if I like have a night where I don't smoke, I get more dreams. That's nice. Anyway. There are a couple of nights where I've managed to go to sleep without weed, not many. My sleep was better, but with varying success. So I'm like, okay, there are other things, right? Being cozy and being excited to go to bed. I have an electric blanket. I get excited. Snuggle, that works. Don't have all the mindful, thinky stuff there. I've got the observations in my periphery of mind, and I'll play with them and figure out it'll be like an evolution of a solution. Okay, cool. But I really only had a few good nights sleep in like several years. Maybe like once or twice woken up feeling like as I used to, like just like rested, good, cozy, nice, wake up. I'm so aware of all the sensations in my body. I'm zen out and new day, motivation for the morning. And I mean, I've had a few nights that are close to that, but maybe nothing that was that, because obviously every single time I had one of those mornings, it was aggregation of many mornings, right? I was in a good place. So sleep's so important. Sleep is so important. A few days ago, like I had a full like 8 hours, but I slept at like 5, and someone woke me at 1 to be like, hey, aren't we supposed to be meeting now? And I just was sad all day. I get that if I sleep very, very, very little, very shit sleep, I'll get like down from it. I had 8 hours. Why was I so down from it? It wasn't from all the stuff I could feel, it was from the sleep. And then the next day, I should have fucking slept, but I stayed up for 10 hours in the night, not sleeping. I was wrecked. And then in the evening, I slept, and woke up like 3 in the morning. I was like, let me get up. But then I kind of like dawdled on it, and then lost the motivation, and it was just fucked. Sleep has been on my mind, obviously. That was the night before last. When I woke up at 3:30 and had my day. Still went to sleep pretty late last night, like 5. But you know what? I woke up feeling alright. Even though I smoked weed, even though, I don't know, I stayed up till 5, and I slept through the day a bit, and I woke up at like 1 something or something like that. I felt a lot better than I should, if all of those variables are the variables that have been fucking me, right? Every time I worked on one of those variables, I would get better. They are making an impact, but something else has made a bigger impact. You know what it is. That night when I stayed up all night in bed by accident, that doesn't happen to me very often. Like if I stay up all night, it's because I'm doing something. I'm trying to stay up all night. Like I never try and sleep and fail all night. That's very rare. I'm always like, disorganized, have to clean my house or pack for a trip or or I'm with people and I'm out or something like that. But to like spend the whole night trying to sleep and not sleep, that's not really something that's happened. I think I can only think of 2 times that happened. That night, I guess, because I'd been pretty emotionally dysregulated and I was upset about stuff and just like sobbing. Damn, I didn't expect I was supposed to laugh, and now I'm like about to cry. Anyway, and the other time was when I was in the middle of all that shit and I spent the whole night thinking and like being upset about something. And that was sort of my wake up call. Like, I need to do something about this, because when I don't sleep, I am fucking fucked, and it's really hard. And I took the day off when it happened this time, but then I was like working and I had to still get up and do my life. And I was like, I am fucked. I can't. I need to do something. And my doing something was pick up a vice to sleep. Weed. Brilliant. We do what we can. Anyway, doing it today. Yesterday. A few days ago, sorry. Doing it this time. I was then conscious and awake while I was lying in bed as the sun started to rose when in its entire path throughout the day, and then like somewhere around 3 I let myself sleep. I was in bed the whole day and my body fucking killed after. And sleeping, I wasn't recovering from it either, by the way. I slept like I had body aches from several days before, as well as like the impact of lying in bed and not stretching and not moving for a couple of days or some shit. I don't know. Yesterday was in pain and things did not feel right. Like joints did not feel stable, and I was like, oh my god. And I climbed. It was kind of dumb anyway. Sleep generally wasn't such good quality, right? So I wasn't getting the recovery from sleep, the physical recovery from sleep that I used to get. So it also made exercising harder and less rewarding and more painful, more uncomfortable, which is really important exercise for my well-being and also like my mental health, neurochemistry and habits and joy, and also like a sort of like helps me work on something and achieve something like on many different fronts. Exercise is good for me, and it was fucking that. Anyway, I don't think I've ever chosen to persistently stay in bed when that sun comes shining in my face from the window. I'm like, oh, it's uncomfortable, let's get up, it's sunny anyway, right? Like it makes me physically uncomfortable, so I leave. But this day I was wrecked, so I was staying in bed. That light from that sun, I opened the wardrobe door, which usually blocks the sun enough for me to sleep comfortably, but I realized that it's only when the sun is like at the beginning of its journey across the sky. Like when it's later on in its journey, it still comes out and shines on my face, and like, you know, I tried to lift the blanket, but it was just so much UV. I felt like it was burning my skin, you know. I felt like I should be wearing SPF, but I was too wrecked to get up. And it was really annoying. So I didn't do anything about it that night. I was so wrecked. I just, like 3 o'clock-ish in the afternoon, I fell asleep. And I woke up at 3 in the morning, and then I thought I'd get up and do stuff, and I didn't. So I lounged around for a few hours, and the sun did come up or whatever. I'm awake as I. Anyway, the sun was still pretty intense on my skin. I think maybe it did. Maybe, I don't really remember. Push me out of bed to get ready, whatever. Maybe. It's pretty late to get out. I was motivated at first. I was like, maybe, oh wow, it's 3:30. Maybe I could wake up and get ready and do my stuff now, and then get up when the sun rises and read a book, and it'd be so nice. I didn't do any of that. Anyway, the next night, last night, I was like, I remember how annoying that fucking sun was. Let me close the blinds. I never close the blinds. I'm a person. Back when I used to sleep well, I guess, most of my life, I realized that if I leave the curtains closed, if I make it dark, when I wake up it's dark, and if when I wake up it's dark, it becomes really hard for me to get up. Like my body feels over sedated. Like trying to wake up in the winter before the sun comes up for work, that was hell. I had to like have a timer light for it, like that, like would shine directly at my face like this, and it was such a hot light, and I would sweat, and it was so uncomfortable, but I had to do it, or it felt like pushing a boulder off my chest as soon as I woke up. It was so hard. Like light has a big impact on my sedation. You can predict and see where this is going, right? So I closed the blind for the first time ever, even though I slept at 5 in the morning, even though I smoked and I was high as shit. I had like the best night's sleep I've had. Okay, maybe not the best. There have been a couple that have been really, really nice and good because I've been really well rested, because I slept with someone I love and care about in like an intimate embrace. Okay. But in terms of my solo sleeping habits and abilities, that was my peak since everything went down. All I had to do was something that everyone fucking does, brothers. Close the fucking curtain. And not even both of them. I left that one open, but this one. Some darkness. And that, leaving that open, means I'll still wake up. It's a perfect workaround. And you know what? My body feels so much more recovered. I was so wrecked yesterday. Even though I'd slept until 3:30 in the morning and then been up and done stuff, my body, my joints, everything felt unstable and uncomfy and tight. And I hadn't really stretched, and that was part of it. Or I did a little bit of shit stretching, but I wasn't really paying attention. But today, I feel like my body recovered like maybe like 4 to 6 times more than it usually does in a night of sleep. like having shit sleep and having poor body recovery has also been a big inhibition, a big inhibitor to, not inhibitor, whatever, a big obstacle to me getting better, because it fucks my ability to exercise and to progress in exercise and to be motivated to exercise. It makes it uncomfortable to exercise. It makes it costly to exercise. It means that I have to do lots of like yoga and everything to like just feel okay, because my body is not feeling better after exercise. It's not recovering. I've been trying to eat more proteinous meals, and I like make meals with lots of curry spices to give me that sense of home, and like follow the recipes that my mum, or kind of like roughly make the kinds of food that my mum, the kind of meals that my mum would give me, and eat my grandma's food and my mum's food to try and like better my exercise recovery, because it's been fucked and it never was like that. I was so much more robust. I don't understand why I'm just not able to do as much. I wouldn't feel strong after exercise, would make me feel weak unless my rest was really long. But like that means I can't really get into it. I can't do it regularly. It helps my neurochemistry so much. It gives me something to work towards. It gives me achievement in something. It like helps my mood. I wasn't getting I couldn't get what I wanted out of it because I just couldn't exercise as well. I just couldn't do it so strengthily. I couldn't do it so frequently. Like I didn't have the motivation for it. I wasn't enthusiastic about it because I wasn't doing it well. I was like, oh, I'm shit. I'm weak every day. Okay, food, sleep, food and sleep. I've always known it. Food, sleep, and exercise are the trio to my well-being. And hanging out myself. Anyway, the food did help a bit. Loads of things helped a bit. Loads of things. Protein, high protein. But I realized like every single meal I'm going for like meat, which has never been my thing. I never needed that much protein to feel all right. It was making a difference. So I was like, maybe this is what I need. Creatine, maybe this is gonna help. Taking my vitamins, my minerals every day, maybe this is gonna help. Drinking enough water, you gotta drink water, you're always getting dehydrated, this is gonna help. Oh, let's get like some electrolytes and magnesium. But you know, you can work on all the little things, but the big things, fucking, I was blind to the big things, but also just like not able to figure them out. Such a long journey. But now I know. Close the curtains, brother. Made such a difference. And eat your high protein meals and your rice meals, and with your brown people spices that make your skin smell spicy and make you happy and make your tummy happy, and chili so that everything's enjoyable, and a nice cozy excitable cuddly bed with a little heated electric blanket underneath you, and your little routines. And don't forget to pick up your closed eye rituals, because that's one I haven't done. I used to make friends with the dots I saw behind my eyes as a kid. There used to be like a swarm of them. I don't know, imagination / some of the like, you know, I don't know, sometimes you get flashes in your eyes, behind your eyes, if you like cough and stuff. I feel like sometimes, I don't know, something physiological mixed with something cognitive, something imaginative, whatever. But I sort of started seeing swarms of dots move around. And then when I opened my eyes and my room's dark, I would see them move around my room. And I made friends with them. I personified them. I made friends with them. It's far to go, but I just wanted to put everything together in something. I just wanted to document it. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna put it in a video. It's already here and its like raw, and it is sort of blah form. So I'm sorry for anyone who's actually fucking watching, because that's probably long as shit and not what you want. But I use this place as like an archive maker. I'm gonna get those clips together. I'm gonna put them in YouTube. I'm gonna put them somewhere where I can see them later. I know it's long. I know it's not interesting for anybody, but it's helpful for me. I really need to piss. That's why I'm going so fast right now. And I know some of it's been really scattered, by the way. I know that. I know it's flipped and flopped. Part of that is because I now need to pee. Some of it was organized, some of it was really slow, whatever. I don't know how it's going to evolve, but I find so much value. I've said it 100,000 times before, in recording what's going on, because I haven't got the memory. It helps me reflect, helps me remember. Someday, if I forget to sleep again, I can look at this video and I can remember that, oh god, I have to pee so bad, that I can figure this out. I do figure this out. I got lots of mechanisms to figure this shit out. I'm working on, even if I feel like I'm making no progress, I'm never making a mission of it. I'm never being like making a project. I'm never like doing it in like a really, okay, let's do it kind of way. But I'm always working on everything, and I really like that about myself. And for this reason, I will always tend towards getting better, and that's something to remember too. Even when I'm feeling the most hopeless at it. I just got ways about me that I think I can't lose. For a while I can lose it, but not forever, and not as I get better. It'll come back. It'll all come back as I get better. You don't have to pick it all up consciously. It comes back. the way you are, lend yourself to it, bro. Me, talking to me. Anyway, I really have to piss. Yeah, just a little record for the future, that's all. Just a little reminder for future me, that's all. Happy. I love these little like snapshots of the progress of a journey or the product of all the things that have happened in my recent history. I guess I gather it all together, I summarize it, I conclude, I like explain where I'm at and where I've been and what's happened, put it all together, one facet of my existence, one facet of my experience, one facet of my life, one facet of my life up until a point in a moment, and I document it somehow, I capture it somehow. Even, it's not necessarily just in my words, right? It's in how I act, it's in my body language, it's in the expressions of my face, the emotion in my voice, like how I see, I don't know, I get to meet me at different times, at different points in time, points in my life, points in my journeys. I get to meet myself again and remember where I was and what's different and reflect, and I just really like that. That's why I do this. So I'm always trying to come back to this whenever I need. God, where would I be without technology, eh? Would I be a writer? Anyway, I'm gonna go get ready because I've been here for ages. I don't even know how long these videos are when you add them together. Probably like half an hour. I'm sure no one's here, but sometimes there'll be one or two people, and I really love you guys. I hope you're not forcing yourself. Please don't. If you feel like you're forcing yourself, don't, to watch this stuff. But if you are interested, even to like put me on passively while you make dinner or something, I thank you. Thank you for I don't know, seeing that same, appreciating it kind of how I appreciate it. I feel like you are also meeting me in that moment. Meeting myself in that moment, you meet me in that moment, you meet that version of me. And it's nice to meet you. I wish other people did this. I would love to see it too. I really would. I don't see many people do this shit that I do. But here and there I'll come across someone and oh my god, love to see it. But I just, don't have the time to keep up. But I love to see it. And if we're personal friends, I fucking would. I would take the time to treat it like a, like a, I don't know, like how I follow podcasts. I'd follow them. Anyway, have a good day.